Conroe, Texas has been on fire for the last few years and is one of the prettiest communities in all of Houston. And in today's episode, we're checking out the latest luxury master plan community to break ground in the area. And we're going to go all in. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about schools. We're going to talk about builders, amenities, everything that you need to know to make sure that this community is a great fit for you. We're going to go over it in this video. If that sounds good, stay tuned. About 15 minutes from the Woodlands, we're checking out the latest master plan community to hit the Conroe scene. We're checking out Evergreen today off the 242 corridor, and we're gonna go over everything that you care about. We're gonna talk about property taxes, we're gonna talk about future amenities, we're gonna talk about school districts, and of course, we're gonna check out some of the prettiest model homes that the Conroe area has to offer. If that sounds great, stay tuned. Up first, we have Chesmar Homes, and they've been making major waves with my clients over the last like 6 months to a year. Many of my clients have been coming here, touring them, and really falling in love. This is the Athens plan. It's one of the smallest plans that they have here in the community, but I wanted you to see what it looks like. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna put all the stats on this house and pricing for Chesmar in this community. We're gonna go and take a look at it. Let me know what you think. So what did you think about the Athens plan? I think that was gorgeous. It was a 3-bed with an office, which is one of those kind of requests that I get often from buyers that are moving here from somewhere else. They don't necessarily need these massive mansions of a house. They want something that's modest, that'll give them enough space, but also give them an office space. And a plan just like that can do that efficiently, and Chesmar Homes can do that. Now, so why is Chesmar becoming one of my fan favorites? I think it's pretty simple. One of the main reasons why I think they are a fan favorite for some of my clients coming in is because many of my clients are already thinking about making the move from a different state or a different city and making the Houston area home. And Chesmar often provides a level of simplicity that other builders don't get. In that last segment that you were just looking at, you can see the selections that are available in and for your home. And so if you were to go that design route and you wanted to customize and kind of pick your house and all the finishing touches, you're doing that on the spot in the sales office with the sales team. We would kind of go over and look over some swatches and just look at some of the samples, and you would decide what you want, and you would know what your price is out the gate, as opposed to even some of my more favorite luxury builders. So like your Perry Homes, your Highland Homes, your Newmarks, and all those other people, there's a portion where you have a base price, and then you would go to a design center and you would have additional money that you would have to pay to further upgrade it. With a builder like Chesmar, you know kind of what you get out the gate, and I think many of my clients really enjoy that simplicity. But what did you think about that home? That's their 40-foot product. I know in some of the other communities that I've shown Chesmar, they've been at 40 foot and under, and a lot of those options don't have the tub and the shower. This one had both, so let me know what you think. And that one currently is right around 320 to start. They have an inventory one right at like 360 that's a little bit more upgraded, and so let me know what you think. As far as some of the base stats go, as we are walking in to check out the next section of homes by Shea, the property taxes here is 3.0% before homestead. So that is fairly low. I know I have a couple clients that have bought in surrounding areas around here, and they're a little bit higher than that, somewhere ranging between 3.1 and 3.3. And so to have them as a 3.0 with the latest taxes that we know about for the community, that is definitely a plus, and you have a little bit more bang for your buck out here compared to the neighboring community. So definitely something to keep in mind when you are looking in the Conroe area, is that not all taxes are the same. Everybody has different mud taxes out here, and some pay a little bit more, some pay a little bit less. It looks like this community is paying a little bit less, and so that is something that you should keep in mind when you're looking in the area. And up next, we have the smaller offering for Shea Homes. I believe this is a 3079 plan. We're going to go and check that out and let me know what you think compared to the similar size lot model from Chesmar Homes. Let me know how you think that Shea stacks up with the Chesmar home. So what did you think about the 3079 plan by Shea Homes? That's gorgeous. And so this is a 40-foot product. I know that when you get in there and you just saw the video, it's gonna look like you got all these tall ceilings and tall doors and it's really luxury and it's really huge. That house is only 2,500 square feet and it's on a 40-foot product. So for them to get all the grandness, all of those nice touches and features in a footprint that is fairly small is one of the reasons why I like Shea Homes in the metro. They always do some creative things with how their houses are laid out. But for whatever reason, people just are drawn to what they're drawn to, and sometimes that ends up taking people to a Highland or a Perry or wherever the case may be. But I really like Shea Homes, and I really like that one. And for the price starting in the upper threes, around 375 right now, you could probably get that and do it up real nice and stay under 450, which would be really tough to beat in this area of Houston. But let me know what you think compared that Shea home that's on the 40-foot lot and that Chesmar home. I think I got a favorite, but what do you think? So as I walk to my next destination, the question that often comes up is, should I use a real estate agent for new construction, and can I just do it on my own? The answer is yes, you can do it on your own. But the one thing that you would be missing out on is the information. One thing that you can't get from some of these online searches on your own is the specialized knowledge of an area, of a community, of things going on in and around the community that you're looking at. And one example of that live and in the flesh is if you go to their website for Evergreen right now, it says nothing about Highland Homes on that website. However, as someone that has closed deals with Highland Homes over the last years, I got an email saying that they were going to be pre-selling in this community. If you didn't know about that, if you came and you looked at their website and you did all this stuff on your own, you would have no idea that an option, if you were looking specifically for Highland Homes, was going to be happening in this community. You just wouldn't know. And so that's some of the examples of information that you just wouldn't have on your own, and one of the reasons why you should call, text, email, hit the comment section down below, say, Aaron, you're my favorite realtor, and when I'm ready to make a move, I'll be hitting you up. But enough of tooting my own horn right now. We got some bigger models from Shea. We also have one of the fan favorites in the metro and on my channel for sure, Perry Homes. It looks like a big one story. We're gonna go check that one out and let me know what you think. So this would normally be your garage area. My wife would like this one too. I might not have to show her this video. She might have to skip this one. Media room, not blacked out, but it is a media room space. It's a pretty house. I'm really liking it. So what did you think about the 50-foot offering from Shea Homes? So that was a 5-bedroom. Let me see, we're playing 4069. So that one's the one that's close to around 3,000 square foot, all decked out how it has. That was a 5-bedroom with a game room space and a bonus little media space area. That was crazy. And you can get the 50-foot section out here somewhere around 370 to about 460 are the base plans for this community. This one starting closer to the 450, 460 as a base, and then you can of course go up as much as you want to go. But like I said, around 3,000 square foot for that price, that's hard to beat. But what do you think about this one? Now keep this one in mind. This is the 50-foot for Shea. We're about to go over to its little rival in this section, and we'll see what you think about Perry Homes. Another perk with Perry homes, and one thing that a lot of my clients like about their homes, is that they usually have really big covered patios, and this one doesn't look like it is super extended. So even if it is extended a little bit, it probably wouldn't be that much to do it, because you're just basically coming off of this roof line just a little bit to extend it out here. But usually, I would say most of these model homes typically don't have an upgraded patio on this side. So this would be about standard of what you would get in a Perry home, which is a little bit bigger than some of the homes that we've been looking at today. But what do you think? Let's get back inside. So what did you think about that gorgeous Perry Homes? It was a plan 2504. You can get this one somewhere as a base in the mid fours right about now, but they have offerings as low as 420 up to the 500s as base price. And of course you can go as crazy as you want. This one's a few hundred square feet smaller than this one, but is the 2-story more your style, or is the big 1-story with the nice tall ceilings and the wide corridors more your style? Even though that one is bigger, I think I resonate more with a 1-story, but if you've been following this channel at all, you know that I am just weak for a 1-story. But what do you think? And before I get too far away from Perry Homes, I want to talk about their incentives right now. They're doing $20,000 to basically pay down your interest rate into the 5s, or you can take that off Design Center. You have some flexibility when it comes to using incentives with Perry Homes. That's one of the things that I really enjoy and like about them. But man, I really like that model. I really like that model. I've seen it in a couple of different places. But yeah, that's the incentives for them. As far as the other builders, they're all going to do something similar to either get your interest rate down or to give you some money off of design or money towards closing costs. That's pretty standard in stock right now. For as far as values go, Perry seems to be doing a little bit higher with the 20,000 versus everybody else right now, but that's all subject to change. But let me know what you think, and if you have any more questions about any of the builders that we've seen so far, let me know. And now we have hopped on over to the bigger section. So we've left the 50-footers alone. Now we're about to go and check out some of these mansions. And one of the perks of being in this community versus some of the other ones out in this area is there are some communities that are going to be less expensive for sure. But if you are somebody that wants a product that can get up to 70-foot wide, or even on some oversized lots get up to that 75, 80-foot wide, this is one of the last stops you have before you go out to the super country. And what I'm calling super country is like those places like Willis and Magnolia and all those places that don't really have a lot of infrastructure and things around them quite yet. They will possibly in the future, but for right now, they're just a little bit too country for my liking, where right over here off the 242 corridor, you got Harper's Reserve, you have Artavia or Artavia, as it's supposed to be said, you got Mavera, you have a bunch of communities along this corridor that are already bringing their own commercial. And so you just have more infrastructure here. And so to get infrastructure where you don't feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, and to get a large estate style home like the ones behind me, this is one of the last stops, and it's one of the reasons why I think that Evergreen is going to do well as long as they're building back here. But now let's go and check out these next models. This is giving some Big Perry vibes, how this is opened up. Okay. Gives that little middle, kind of like the big Highlands do. 222, 224. I like that. Nice. Secret little flex space. So what did you think about the 60-foot Chesmar home? Now that was a super nice one. It gave some elements to some of the bigger one stories on Perry homes that I really love. So some of those elements as well, with the nice vaulted ceilings, and it had the beam in there. Super pretty floor plan for them. In their price range, or in their lot range, they're going to be anywhere from the high 4s to the upper 5s for lots this size, and that'll depend on, you know, lot premiums and all those other things as far as how high you can go. But some of the most affordable options this wide that I have seen in the area. As far as other stats, this is in Conroe, and you are tied to Conroe ISD. And so it is a solid school district in the area. Now, just like with any place in the metro, that not all schools are created equal within that. But from what I've seen online, and I'll put a link to niche.com underneath in the description so you can check out the individual schools here to see if the ratings work for you and your family. From what I have seen, the Conroe ISD schools up here are pretty solid. And so if you're thinking about moving to this area and not quite sure if, you know, the schools and things are going to be a good fit for you, like I said, I don't really get too deep into it. I'll send you that link to niche.com. It'll be underneath, and let me know what you think. But now let's hop on over into this humongous Shea home and let me know what you think. This for sure, we're stepping into Dream Home Mansionville with this one. I'll give you all the pricing and everything that you need to know after we finish this tour. Let me know what you think. This place is like a compound. It is crazy. So that thing was crazy. That was the model 6020. It's a 1.5 story. So that whole second area with the bonus stairs, the secret stairs that you saw, is a flex space add that brings it up to over 4,000 square feet. It's right around 4,200 square feet. But pricing is going to be in the upper fives all the way on up to around the mid to upper sixes for the base plan. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That's one of the craziest layouts, and I love Shea because they always seem to do that secret little hidden staircase in their 1.5 stories for sure, and even on some of their 2-story model plans, they'll do that as well. So definitely one of my favorite models by Shea in the Metro. They had something similar in Del Bello, and they had something similar in Meridiana as well, but chef's kiss for the layout for Shea on that one. And before we check out the last gorgeous Perry home model for the day, we're going to go and check out some of their amenities. We have the Curiosity Park, which should be open. It should have been open right now. I'm looking at a sign on it that says it's now open, so we'll go and see if they got all the pavilion and all the stuff that they promised when I was out here about 6 months ago, if any of that stuff is in. And then they're going to also have their little pool facility coming here. I think it's called the Arbor, which should be here sometime this year. So we'll head on over to check that out right now, and we'll see how this thing develops. One of the interesting things and one of the cons about building and being one of the first ones in any of these communities is that sometimes there are promises that are made as far as what amenities are going to be or what is happening or what's coming. And until those things are in the ground, until they're finished, you don't really actually know what's going to happen. So we'll see if the renderings on these things match up to what I saw all those months ago. And we'll see if they stick to some of those dates that they gave. Walking up to it right now. And another one of the things that I love and that many people love about living in the Conroe area is all these beautiful mature trees around me. And even as we get to where some of the homes are, the thoughtfulness in the design to keep nature as naturey as possible, all while putting these beautiful, luxurious homes in the middle of them, is something that the Conroe area specifically does probably the best. Some of the prettiest communities in the Houston Metro are in Conroe. But if you don't have a lifestyle that brings you to this side of the world, it's just one of those things that unfortunately you will just miss out on when you get to your Cypresses, you get to your Katie's, you get to your Pearlands, your Richmonds, your Rosenbergs, all of those places, your Meridianas, all of those places that have these luxury master plan communities are very flat. They're kind of brown and they're kind of just like one note. And then the communities themselves have to have a lot of landscaping and architecture to kind of make it pretty. Whereas when you're up here in many of these places in Conroe, it's just naturally prettier land. It has a lot of more elevation changes. It's super green, super lush. Along the highway on 242, you just got trees that kind of wrap you on either side. It's just a really pretty place. And now that we are at the Curiosity Park, it looks like they do have their playground that they promised. Looks like they do have their event pavilion that they promised. And so at least for the first half of the amenity package that they have claimed that you're going to get, it looks like they're doing that. It also looks like they're getting together with a little lake or walking trail around the lake right here as well. So it looks like things are coming. I don't see any landscaping or anything for the Arbor. Maybe that is that in the background. You probably can't see that on this camera, but it looks like they've cleared some land just behind me for what looks like it could be the Arbor Amenity Center, but it doesn't look like they're nearby started on that one, so we're not even gonna waste a trip down there. But for right now, it does look like you do have walking trails and a lake that is coming. You do have your playground, you do have your event pavilion. And so at least for the first leg or the first phase of things that they have promised you, it looks like you are going to get those things. Conroe is just super pretty, man. It's one of those places that even though the demographics don't necessarily align with somewhere that I would say that I would want to personally live or my family would want to live long term, the communities are so pretty that they almost make me forget that I don't like certain things about being up in this area. They're just so green, so lush. They usually have the natural lakes and not the man-made lakes that a lot of the communities have. It's just a lot to really love and desire about the Conroe area. And I really love it up here, and it's just crazy, crazy beautiful. The other thing that is crazy is the fact that you've been watching this video for how long now? Probably 30 or 40 minutes. And you still haven't called, texted, emailed, hit the like button. You hadn't hit that subscribe button. You hadn't left a comment. You hadn't given me a call and said, Aaron, you're my favorite agent. And when I'm about to make the move or decide to purchase a home in your neck of the woods, I'll hit you up. And I think that that's crazy and it's kind of hurting my feelings. So I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Hit the notification bell. Make sure that you're not missing any of these luxury and master plan communities that we are dissecting and discovering around the Houston Metro. I want to make sure that you got the latest and greatest info on everywhere that you care about living. And I want to make sure that I can help you on the biggest decisions of your life. But now it looks like we are to our destination in the last Perry Homes model. It's one of my favorites in the whole Houston Metro, and I think that you're gonna love it too. And really quick, before we head into this Perry model, I know that many people like to come out and just tour the model home park and don't wanna necessarily feel like someone is pressuring them to buy anything or do any of those things. And although I would love to tour these places with you, I understand that not everybody wants that. The only way to really feel and know if you really like a place or if it resonates with you is to actually come and put eyes on it, feel it, breathe it, see what you see, and know whether or not it's a good fit for you. And honestly, you don't need me to do that. I would love to join you on your journey and seeing you and touring with you. But if you just are out here doing the discovery thing, you don't really need me for that. However, if the conversation starts to go anywhere towards you making a decision to potentially buy in one of these areas, even if I'm not with you, if you put my name, number, email, information down, that way I can be that buffer for you to make sure that you're getting the absolute best deal. Like I've said before, I've worked with many of these builders. Actually, I've worked with all of the builders over here, and I know that they are good people and they mean well, and I know that they'll take care of you. However, their job is to specifically sell you a product in this community. And so having an agent be that buffer between you and the overall builder and the builder's employees, the sales agent here, to make sure that you're getting the best deal, you're gonna wanna have a buffer between you to say that, no, this community has this community doesn't have that. Artavia may be a better place, Mavera may be a better place, Grand Central Park may be a better place, or if Evergreen is in fact the one, I don't have to be here with you, but if you sign me in when you show up here, I can help be that buffer to make sure that you're getting the absolute best deal, the best incentives, the best pricing in the Metro. But in order for me to do that, you have to hit me up. And if you go in and start something before, I can't do that. But enough of that yapping. Let me get in here and show you this beautiful Perry home. I think you're gonna love it. So what did you think about that gorgeous Perry home? One of my favorites. I believe that was a 3300 plan, 3300W plan for them. And it's just super pretty, super pretty out here. But what did you think? Comparing that to the much larger, almost 700 or 800 square feet larger, do you prefer the Shea home or the Perry home? Let me know what you think. But as far as Evergreen is concerned, I think that Evergreen is going to be one of those ones that people just know and love. It's in a great spot right off the 242 corridor. It has outstanding builders with more to come. When that Highland home gets here, you know I'll have to be out here as an official Highland Homes card holding member. I got to come out here and see what that model home looks like. But you're tied to a solid school district. You have some of the most affordable prices. You're in a great location in one of the prettiest suburbs in all of Houston, out here in Conroe, Texas. 10 minutes from the Woodlands, give or take. Is really hard to beat, but is that enough for you?